Hello, everybody, and welcome to How To Zeepkist Season 1 Bank Turns. Let's go. Like I said, we're going to be doing this with starting easier and then going into more difficult levels. So we're actually going to be starting with some that Shinikage made. They're really good levels to try and learn how what the basis of bank turns are. So the first thing obviously is you have people call it like a gravity pool. You can also think of it as kinetic versus potential energy. So typically speaking, the lower that you are, the faster you're going to be going, because you're changing all of your potential energy into kinetic. Right? So you'll notice that I'm not going wide on these turns. The other side of that, the other reason why that's helpful is because we're making these turns shorter. We're traveling less distance and we are going faster. You'll notice that sometimes I exit a little bit wider, and that's sometimes for a better setup. Sometimes it's to turn a little bit less. In this game, as you turn, you're going to lose speed. So that's the very basis on how to do bank turns. Just going to join into photo mode. This one's a very simple track. So it may not be a whole lot there to it. But you can see how much bank there is with these things. They're not. Let's say a track like this, you're not going to be seeing massive weird things that you're going to be doing. It's all about driving it smooth, and that's actually why I chose this for the first map. To me, it is a really good map to understand what a bank turn is and kind of start approaching them. Yeah, so the track itself is pretty basic, like I said. Probably this part right here is the only weird part. You can notice you can get some air. You want to avoid doing that at all cost. Air will slow you down. It's a combination of one, you're going to be losing your potential, or your kinetic energy, and moving it to potential, so you're gaining height. But you're also adding on the issue of landing, because as you land, you're going to be losing speed. One of the other things that you're notice that you want to try and avoid is that if you Rory, how's it going? But you'll notice that as you if you hit a corner and do something like this, you're gonna notice that my ghost is pulling away from me because I was brushing up against that, and all that friction is gonna be slowing you down. With this track, like I said, we're gonna be going over a lot more of the basics of it. And as we get into the more difficult tracks, we're gonna be going into more difficult theories. So with this turn here, you notice how if I stay to the right, and then up here we're going to go more towards the left, that's going to allow us to not get that air. Obviously, this stuff will also be on YouTube. The big thing with Twitch is you're going to be able to ask questions if you have any, and I'll be able to answer them live as we're going through these tracks and playing them. So yep, it's just pretty basic track. I was originally planning on having the lobby timer shorter, but I ended up with less tracks than expected. So yeah. So you'll notice also with me tap steering, I'm going to be losing speed. You can try and use some steering limits, which we'll go over more in a little bit. But with these types of things, it can be difficult to smooth steer, but it's going to be significantly faster. I just realized I have players off from an event that we were playing earlier, Kirky. So we'll turn them back on so everyone can see what's going on. So I noticed, I think Shady was doing that in, and same thing with Zilman. I tried that on this map. I noticed that it was seemingly slower. Something very important, the bank turns have a spot where the road and the turn have the same height. Yes. Airtime's always bad. The smoother, the better. So with bank turns, yeah, there's going to be a spot where you're going to, it's typically towards the middle or one of the sides. And that by itself is going to be huge. Let's try this enter. Or not. But that's why you can see, like, for a lot of this, I'm kind of like going to the right or left. And yeah. Maki, how's it going? Ronan, thank you for the lurk. Like I said, we're going to be going into more difficult things. I wanted to start with very easy stuff to get, like, a very basic, like... Seven, really? But yeah, I wanted to start with the very basic maps, just to try and give you guys a rough idea. You can see Quick Racer there just did do that enter and flew by me, so it is faster. But enters are something that we're going to be talking about more later in another stream. I will say that the next how-to is going to be how to deal with boosters and fans. So I'll be opening that up in a little bit, sometime probably tomorrow or the next day. You know, I was +1 speed, and then I just lost all of my extra speed because I got that little error. That's a good way of showing that, like, you really want to avoid